What is going on out there, peeps? All right, so uh, there's some things going on in Iraq, but usually there's a lot of different news, or a lot of news, I should say. But things have been I think a lot of people's energy has been focused on the protesters, and things seem to have calmed down now. And so, again, rightfully so, the protesters have a right to be upset. It was this time last year that, armed forces were ordered to open fire on unarmed protesters that were camping out in the nighttime, and some like 400 people were either shot and or killed. So yeah, I get it, but this didn't get as out of hand as I anticipated. So things seem to have calmed down, and we're getting back to norm. We're going to cover some things that are interesting in the news. Anyways, if you guys are thinking about getting some precious metals, and I highly recommend it, please give our friends over that Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you are a first time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. As you guys know, I'm still off Facebook for now. Try to sign in again at the current moment. I'm still locked out, but I do have Twitter, so come join me over there. The link is in the description. And again, you guys, if something should happen to my accounts, because I'm getting screwed with YouTube now, they've removed a few of my videos. So just in case, as a backup, I'll leave the link to this called the GESARA Club. And in here, you guys can go to this link and you can see my profile, along with a lot of good people that, you can come and check out their videos. There might be some things in here you're interested in. If you click my profile, you guys, all my videos are here, all right? And you can share them on all these different platforms, okay? And I encourage you to sign up for the newsletter. That's in case something happens to me, they'll be able to inform you where I am, okay? So let's get into the news. This is interesting. Now, I believe the name is pronounced Najafi. Reveals the reason for the Iraq's front move to overthrow Halabasi. Interesting. The leaders of the Iraqi front, Najafi, revealed today, Tuesday, the reason for MPs in the front seeking to dismiss and change the head of the Iraq parliament. So they want to remove Halabasi from his post. And I thought this guy was kicking butt, but I think I know why. We'll keep getting into this. The new Iraq front, whose goal is it to coordinate and work from now until the end of the current parliament session, has nothing to do with what comes after this date. And this front aims to coordinate positions at the present time between the representatives who enter this front and interested pressing issues in the Sunni community. Yeah, I think this has to do with the redistricting and getting ready for the elections, and I'll explain here in a minute. Uh, So, anyways, the issues of dismissing and changing the Iraq Parliament Speaker Halabasi is among the issues raised in the front, especially that here is a desire for this matter by the representatives who split from Halabasi and disagree with him. It is acceptable to many of these deputies, which is why there are an effort to change Halabasi. The Iraq Front urged the day before yesterday, Sunday, to reform the legislative institution and decide to elect Najafi as its president. The new alliance consists of all these different factions that they have, different factions within their parliamentary. So here's what's going on. When they did the districting over there in Kurdistan for, getting prepared for the early elections, what's happening is as things are being coordinated for the election, a lot of members within the parliament are starting to understand that these new election laws are going to start reducing the amount of political blocks that are within parliament. Parliament is made up of a lot of different political blocks, and it makes it really hard to get anything accomplished within Iraq. You have groups of people there for the Sunnis, and then you have the Muslims, and then you have the Christians. You know what I mean? You have all these different people there. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but what happens is they all don't agree on a lot of things. So it makes it very hard to get anything accomplished on behalf of the Iraqi people. Now, again, the other part is there seems to be a squeeze to remove those individuals who are affiliated with Iran. Okay, so those who are influenced by Iran, there seems to be a squeeze on them, is what we're seeing. And I think that's why we're noticing this move here to remove Halabasi, who's been pretty cooperative with Al Qadimi for the most part. All right, you guys. Again, somebody, I keep reminding you guys this. Okay, so you guys are asking me over on Twitter, and some of you guys are new, and that's okay. I get it. So if you want to buy Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnam Dong, you can come over here. I'll leave this link down below in the description. It's called NESARA Shop. All right, they do ship anywhere in the world. All right, you guys. So you could go ahead and order from them, and if you get to put in discount code, use Pimpy, Pimpy, and it'll save you some money. Okay. So again, I want to just quick reminder. I forgot the other day when I was talking. Tariq Herb, the new election law will bring down major political blocs and leaders. This is what I'm talking about. And you're going to start seeing people start jockeying for position. So what they're saying is, look, the way this new election law is being formed, it's going to start reducing the voices of many people. It's one thing to have a voice and to express your opinion. I get that. But when you have so many factions within your political parliament, it makes it really hard to get anything passed. You know what I mean? It's just too many conflicts go on. There's too many people there with opposing opinions that don't like each other, to be quite honest. Tariq said Tuesday the new election law would topple many political blocs and political leadership. I think its real goal is to reduce the amount of people within parliament. Herb said in a clarification that people, as long as the new law prevented the transfer of votes from the leaders of the blocs and the transfer of votes from the blocs to the rest of the candidates, as was approved by the previous election laws. This was happening in all previous elections, and as many arrived in parliament with the leaders' votes and bloc votes, not their own. And this applies to many blocs such as the State of Law, Victory, Wisdom, Najafi, Saleh, Alawi, and others. What I interpret this was many people, they have their blocks in there. And within the blocks, they decide what they want to do, but not every voice is being heard. So if you have 10 people in your block and 6 of them want to do one thing and 4 want to do another, well, then the 4 are outvoted. The leader of the block would go and express the will of the block for the 6 people as all 10. So I think in this case, by doing this, it will also allow all the people to vote independently. Okay, so that's what I was taking from this. I read it several times. The candidate will not benefit from the many votes of the leader of his electoral block and many votes of his electoral block with the legislation of the new law. He explains, this is said about the Baghdad MPs from the NESARA block and the Wisdom block and others. And all of these will not get one seat according to the new law without getting their votes themselves, and they will not be able to invest in the votes of the leaders in the block, noting that this means that these representatives will retire the leaders of large blocks and blocks after the new law strip them of that advantage. Now, you don't want to strip people of their right to be heard, but if you do have look, we got gridlock here in the United States, and the best thing you do is just go vote these people out. Start voting in people that are there for your interests. But if your political bloc is not there representing you, well, then you vote those people out of office. Now, that's how we do it here. It's different in other places. Well, it's vastly the same, but for the most part. So this, I think, is what's happening here is this group here is pulling away from Halabasi because they're feeling like with this new election law that they're putting forward to them, their voices are not going to be heard because the group that's pulling away from Halabasi and wants to remove him are the same people that are listed here complaining about the new election arrangement. Okay? So, again, a lot of these people you're going to see are, some of these people are desperately fighting to hold on to power is what we're seeing. and they'll do all kinds of different tricks to try to stay in power or to grab power. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? All right. So Al-Kadhimi directs to fully open the green zone. Good, let's get it open. The Iraq Prime Minister directed on Tuesday to fully open the green zone in Baghdad after closing it on the sidelines of security measures following the escalation of missile attacks. Al-Kadhimi also decided to open the suspension bridges towards the airport back and forth for from 6 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. All right. So Zidane and the U.S. ambassador discussed the completion of the investigation of the cases accused from Iraq and America. So I'm not sure what this is because I really don't get it. It just is a statement by the media that Zidane discussed with Ambassador Toller the cooperation between the Iraq judiciary and the American investigation authorities in completing the investigation of the cases involving accused persons from Iraq and America. Not sure what that means because it doesn't get into the details very much. This is another short paragraph. Members of the Parliament Presidency, Al-Kabi, chaired a meeting with the Finance Committee on Tuesday to discuss the draft laws on financing the fiscal deficit. His media office stated in a statement that Al-Khabib chaired an important meeting of the Finance Committee. Good deal. Okay, so again, I'm not on Facebook at the moment, and still people have found a way to, ask me about currency exchanges whenever something becomes an issue. They bring it to my attention. So let me go ahead and address this again because, another article has come out about the exchange. So you can see here, a knock blow to the Iraq dinar currency printing in exchange for the end of the fiscal crisis. What will Iraq do about international conditions? Okay. It says the expert in economic affairs. This is the same guy. Now remember, you guys, this is why I tell you, these articles will come out over and over again. It's cool to be aware of them. That's why you can't get overly excited about good news and you can't get down about bad news. But this guy here is an economics professional that writes these articles all the time, and he's always in the opinion. You guys remember, this is just her opinion that the dinar should be devalued. So when you see this, this is why I say don't get up in arms about it. I understand. We don't care about what they say. We care about what they do. But I want to review this again. It's the same guy, Salam Samassian, confirmed that the devaluation of Iraqi dinar will reflect negatively on the citizens and will lead to inflationary problems as a result of the new force hitting the Iraqi economy at home as a result of high prices of consumers' foodstuffs that are in demand, and this great demand will lead to higher prices. He stated, oh, to her, my bad, that sounds really sexist. Oh, never mind. It's a him. In a statement to her, he said, yes, Iraq, the government is facing great challenge, which is to provide funds with which to pay public expenditures, and this money is necessary to provide it. Reducing the value of the dinar will provide it with that. But on the other hand, it will generate inflationary pressures on the citizens. Since the devaluation of the dinar will be, this will lead to a rise in the prices of consumers' foodstuffs that are in demand, and a great demand will lead to the rise of prices and an inflationary problem as a result of new forces hitting the Iraqi economy at home. What he's talking about, the forces, I believe, is there's a new wave of Rona going around. All right. So again, it's just around the world, we're seeing increased number of cases, not deaths. Okay. So even so, that's to be expected as more testing is being provided. She explained that the government is obligated to this reduction, and these changes will be in light of the state's need for financial resources and the increasing need to pay the salaries of the employees. At the same time, the austerity plan must follow that reduces the waste of the dinar and try to find feasible ways of spending so that the situation is not lost in a situation with the laxity in paying salaries. So it is a she. So economic experts stress that the need to eliminate leakages. You got people out there, and she's going to say it in here, but here's the problem. What you do is they still need to continue doing a full audit of these salaries and validate who they are, because this person's talking about, you got people that have multiple salaries. They've created fake accounts or fake names, and so you got some employees getting paid more than once. So that kind of puts a strain on the money that is needed to pay salaries when you got people who are double, sometimes triple, quadruple dipping. She suggests in her blog post about currency printing, saying that in light of the current economical variables, I do not expect Iraq to print the Iraqi currency without cover, because the matter will be a fatal blow to the Iraqi dinar. So what is the choice? Either print more money or devalue the currency, is what she's saying. And I told you that there has been several studies done on the repercussions of devaluing the currency. It affects the poor people. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. There's already too much happening right now. To even suggest that you're going to devalue the currency is a waste of time. The poor and the middle class are already hurting thanks to the Rona. All right, so this is not going to happen. I know you guys bring this to my attention, but you guys listen to me. It's just not going to happen. I mean, this is my opinion only. But what I'm saying is, this is, if all the studies that I've read that they've done on the Iraqi dinar, when you devalue the currency, it affects the poor people. They already are struggling on limited fixed income to buy what they need. By devaluing the currency, it's just going to hurt them. So again, as much as I say, don't get overly excited about good news and don't get overly down about bad news. But this article, I know this lady does these articles, and she voices her opinion, and she's been fussing for years, just so you guys are aware, about devaluing the currency. So that's not going to happen. I just can't see any scenario in which they would devalue the currency at all. All right, so all right, you guys, that's it for now. There's not a whole lot going on out there, like I said, but there are some interesting things. There seems to be a little bit of a revolt against Halabasi. There are people fighting to keep in power as much as possible, but this election law is going to change things. So that's it for now, you guys. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.